They locked me away in India's most violent prison. No lawyers, no proof, no running away. I was beaten, infected, and left to rot in silence. Malaria, rats, starvation. Every day was a fight to stay alive. For 6 years, I lived in anguish, and somehow, I survived. This is how I made it out alive. I was supposed to be home for New Year's, just 2 weeks in India, a quick business trip, and then everything fell apart. I was exhausted on the plane, ready to get home, when a customs squad dragged me off. They took me to an isolated room and laid 3 brown boxes on a cold steel table. Officer Patel sliced one open. Inside, a fistful of blister packs. 75,000 tranquilizers, he said. I'd never seen them before. I don't even drink or do drugs. I was so confused. And then, terror started seeping in. My handwriting, fake, was all over the shipping forms. What was going on? Why are they showing me all of this? Am I being targeted? I was sweating, shaking, searching for help that didn't exist. No lawyer, no phone call, no translator. Just the harsh reality sinking in. That night, in a tiny concrete cell with no windows, a translator read my charges. Export fraud, conspiracy, trying to destabilize the country. My stomach sank. These were serious charges. Why was this happening? I was in a small dark cell, 4 walls, no bed, no idea where I was headed next. Just me, a flickering light overhead, and screams echoing through the dark. Blackstone was built for 80 men. We were 222. They brought me in shackled, barefoot, clothes soaked in sweat. It didn't feel like a prison. It felt like a graveyard with a lock on the outside. I'll never forget the evil stares I got as I passed by. They were whispering, laughing, pointing. I knew they were plotting against me. We slept on cracked concrete floors, like fallen dominoes. Rice was crawling with red ants. Rats, the size of small squirrels, scurried at night, fearless. First time I took a shower, a man got hit in the head with a plastic water pot and was mobbed by others. But no one screamed. No one wanted to interfere. In Blackstone, silence was survival. I caught malaria 5 times in 8 months. Every attack was like dying slowly, stomach twisting, fever so high I couldn't see straight. No meds, no IVs, just old pills that looked like chalk and blood-stained rags covered in lice. The hospital was just a hallway, dark and dirty. One night, I woke up beside a man who wasn't breathing. He'd had malaria too. I saw him seize and turn blue. I called for help, but no one came. No one cared. Some prisoners even laughed. There was no humanity in this place. They dragged his body out by the ankles. Rumor was, his organs were sold on the black market. They moved me to a tiny cell. Meant for one, now holding two. That's where I met my cellmate, a British professor. He'd just gotten 15 years. Said he was out one night celebrating when locals jumped him. The locals got away, but the blame was pinned on him. This place existed to extract every penny from foreigners. On the second night, he whispered, "Choke me out, kill me, end it." I froze. I couldn't do it. The next morning, he slammed his head against the bars, chanting Latin with every strike. Later, he drank something from the hospital. Maybe it was poison. By evening, he was gone. The guards wrapped him in a sheet and carried him away like broken furniture. I sat there, knees to my chest, thinking I might be next. 4 years went by before I even saw a judge. I learned to disappear, to survive. I met a few good people. We looked out for each other. I watched men beaten to death over bread. Guards letting people starve for fun. People tortured in ways I still can't explain. I remember this one young man. They forced him to stay awake for 7 days straight. Every time he drifted off, they splashed cold water in his face, yelled at him. Why? For their entertainment. Another man, he was boiled alive. I'll never forget those screams. I still have nightmares. I stopped talking, kept to myself. Most days, I didn't want to wake up, but deep down, I still wanted to live. Deep down, I knew I'd make it out. When it was finally my court date, I sat trembling as 15 strangers took the stand. A hotel porter said I bragged about drug empires. A farmer said my handwriting matched. A clerk said I looked guilty. I didn't know any of them. Why were they doing this to me? Something I still struggle to understand to this day. I was angry, confused, terrified. My lawyer spoke for 12 minutes. The judge ruled in 10. 20 years, he said without even looking at me. Something inside me cracked wide open. 20 years? I couldn't survive another week. The courtroom stared. Some of them smirked. They enjoyed watching me break. I called home. My father said nothing, just shocked. But I heard my mother make a sound I didn't even know humans could make, like someone digging a grave for their own child. Back in the circle, I met Rajan Ghost King Shetty. He spoke fluent English, quoted Shakespeare, and controlled half the prison. Educated, ruthless, a gang leader responsible for hundreds of deaths. He was in for life, but to him, prison was safer than the outside world. Under his protection, I had chai, blankets, real food. My cell was bigger. Rats stayed away. Guards nodded instead of yelling. Rajan took me under his wing, helped me out more than I can say. For the first time in years, I felt human again. They then moved his cell to another location. Once he moved, everything vanished. The next morning, a new inmate looked at me. at the empty space where power used to be, and smiled. I knew then I was alone again. July 5th, 2021. 6 years in that concrete box. In those final months, I saw men die over soap. A teenager starved for speaking out. Another dragged away after screaming. He didn't touch her, and no one ever saw him again. The superintendent handed me a paper. High court sets you free. I couldn't breathe. My hands shook too much to hold it. But Mumbai Customs made me wait days. More interviews, more suspicion, more silence. I remember being scared and shaken as I boarded the plane home, somewhere I thought I'd never see again. I kept thinking this was some sick joke. The minute I relaxed, customs would barge in and drag me back. I finally let out a breath as the plane took off. I stepped through the doors at Heathrow. Cold British air hit my face. Baggage handlers waved. Someone mouthed, "Welcome home." But I didn't move. Unlocked doors didn't feel real anymore. A stranger pushed the panel, and I finally stepped out. My mother sat waiting in a wheelchair, smiling through a stroke. She reached for me. My hands trembled so bad, I missed hers. We touched. No alarms, no guards, no sirens. But inside my head, I still hear Blackstone. The fans, the rats, that endless hallway. I live free now. I have a fridge, a sofa, a warm bath. But I still squat to use the toilet. Still rinse rice to keep the ants away, even if they're not there. Still freeze when pipes gurgle at night. 6 years taught me a cruel truth. The distance between hope and despair, the moment someone laughs while snuffing it out, that's the only real measure of time. So now, I keep matches hidden, just in case the darkness ever comes back.